This was not where my love story was supposed to end up. When Dee had appeared at my door 6 years earlier, drenched by a walk from the station in a seaside rainstorm, and confessing, "I love you," I felt my world expand, turn from black and white to technicolor, and sparkle in ways I had not known were possible. We had been close friends for some time, and now we were a couple. I always resisted the idea of a romance making me feel complete, but this time life simply felt right. Dee, with love, humour, and boundless empathy, had the power to make my life seem as if it were being lived entirely in portrait mode. I was just a little sharper, a little better, a little more me. And everything else was a little blurry, a little less imposing than it used to be. As we moved seamlessly from couple to engaged couple, I never doubted that it would continue forever. Dee supported me as I wrote Running Like a Girl, the book which changed my life. After 15 years of despair at the thought of physical exercise and a general sense of dissociation from my own body, discovering running and then writing about it had shown me a sense of self I had not dreamed possible. I, the one who'd thought that the London Marathon would leave me with nothing more painful than a case of terminal eye roll, was training for my 4th when I met Dee. And each adventure filled me with greater grit and confidence than I'd imagined possible. For so long, I'd taken for granted that there was some sort of barrier against me taking up and enjoying sport, and now it had turned out that that was entirely self-imposed. Sharing these revelations in print had only made the experiences all the sweeter. It did not escape my notice that I had finally let love in once I'd found a physical way to respect the body I'd been trying to wriggle away from for decades. Dee was on the end of the phone as I ran a marathon around San Francisco. Dee was waiting for me when I finished my final London Marathon. Dee was in the sea beside me when I took that first swimming lesson, which became the opening scene for my next book, Leap In. For years, my family had longed for me to settle down with someone. Perhaps that isn't fair. What I suspect they really wanted was for me to be loved by a partner as much as they loved me. And with Dee, they finally saw that happen. My wedding day was a perfect pearl of a day, one I'll never forget, much less regret. I was finally letting myself believe that proper, official romance could be real. And it was. I loved my new life. I enjoyed the new pace of living with someone, texting each other at the end of the day to check if we needed to bring anything home for dinner, having company during what had been the lonelier dips, the weekends or long January nights in, and laughing. So much laughing. Laughing like a drain at the silliest things as a ludicrous but intimate language of nicknames and in-jokes began to coil itself around our day-to-day life and communications. I loved it all. As the pain of miscarriage and the slow encroachment of fertility issues made their way first to our doorstep and then into our home, we remained close, communicative, attentive to one another. Dee was ever supportive, ever understanding, ever kind. We were clear-sighted about the impact that fertility treatment might have on our marriage, and we were both keen to keep our cocoon of love untainted by it. Time spent with Dee, someone who'd studied film and then worked in politics, was enriching on both a creative and an intellectual level. I felt truly cherished. But we knew that to take anything for granted was to place it at risk. We wanted to put in the hours and keep our marriage intact. We had done our reading, we had consulted friends, and we'd talked to each other on long walks and late into the night. Our first round of IVF was a failure. The one embryo we had created left my body almost immediately, and the impact of the drugs combined with a terrible bout of norovirus left me physically and emotionally fragile for months. But we tried a second round, this time creating several embryos. The first resulted in an early failed pregnancy. And as the winter of 2015 turned to spring and then summer, we tried embryo after embryo, only to have my body fail to hold on to any of them. Neither of us wanted to feel pressured to keep trying for a baby if one of us felt defeated by the endeavour, but nor did we want to give up without affording ourselves the best possible chance of parenthood. Where to draw the line? Did we want to quit and end up a decade later thinking, well, it hadn't been that hard, couldn't we have just gone on a little longer? Or did we want to stop wasting time pursuing an impossible dream and just enjoy our lives?